You are live. Hello, everybody. It is Friday, 10:36, 10:37 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Hi. This is Timeless Hoodoo with BEaulieu. And what is that on top of my head, you ask? Oh, just my serpent's head. A serpent crown. Hi. Hope everybody's doing fine. Listen, tonight I wanted to talk a little bit of. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Oh, I'll do that later. Tonight I want to talk a little bit about my spirit baths. Mm. I was on Clubhouse. I talked about them earlier. And spirit baths are I'm going to put this over here. Spirit baths are super, super, super duper important when it comes to when it comes to taking care of yourself spiritually, but also when it comes to not just taking care of yourself spiritually, but also to spiritual hygiene, spiritual welfare, also to spiritual baths, especially if you're a spiritual worker or dealing with folks, mojo work itself, just helping people. Spirit baths is a really great way to take care of yourself. Ouch! Child, I'm sitting in this chair. My damn it's pain shooting up my legs. I know what that's about though. That this chair is just odd. I need a more comfortable chair. What I need to do is relax my legs. So here, so we're shooting live on Facebook. I'll just do a live stream on Facebook, of course, Smutbag, Twitter, as well as YouTube. Hi, YouTube. I hope you're doing fine. All right, so well, that's what we're going to talk about tonight. Also, to quite a few other things too as well, and just fabulous, very good. So I have on my notes, mind you, I had talked about this on Clubhouse earlier. Let's see if I get on Club. So listen, get folks on Clubhouse. Listen, I'm only hold on. Let me get the invite thing. The oh oh shoots. No, hold on. Let's get the link first before I start the Clubhouse room. Okay, copy it. Thank you. Ta ta. Now go away now. Oh, I copied. Oh, thank you. Now I'm going to go and start a Clubhouse. Don't tell me Hoodoo. What we should do? Yeah, because everyone gets notifications. Okay, late. All right. Now, mind you, everybody else on. We talked about this earlier on Clubhouse. I know we already talked about it, but I'm trying to get everybody to come over here during the late night. I said I was going to have a late night. I should be on Patreon. I really should, but late night. Hold on. Late night. Hoodoo. Now, mind you, I haven't did many readings on YouTube on live stream. I haven't. I swear to you. On Clubhouse, I do most readings on Clubhouse. Late night Hoodoo readings and Conjure with T. Oh, hold on. BEaulieu. Yeah, come on. Listen, put the link here. Let everybody know. Oh, listen, I'm gonna put the link here. Pin the link there. Don't even put it in chat. There we go. Let everybody know we're on StreamYard. Okay, and then put the link in chat. Everyone, let's say hello, everybody. Everyone, I'm and do all caps. Live on StreamYard. Live on StreamYard. Yeah. Why is it doing that? Now. Listen, putting all caps. NOW. Now. Oh, that's me. I thought that was somebody else. All right, return. Bam. That way they'll have a link. And then let's say hello to everybody. Good. I just finished eating too. Good evening. Watch, they're gonna kick me out of here pretty soon. Evening. Hey, Melissa. Evening, everyone. Ha ha. Ha. Good evening, honey. I hope you're doing fine. Good. Ha.
I was just going to bed. I was like, oh my gosh, I haven't seen you in a while, so I hope everything's okay.
No, doing fine. And I'm sitting over here being busy, being very, very busy. Just
I'm
chilling.
happy for you.
Thank you, honey. Just chilling. And what else am I doing? Being busy, being a busybody. I should be on Patreon working. But I'm working now, definitely. Ha ha! So listen,
You were always working.
listen. Uh,
Everything you do is served.
you know the thing I do. That, what if I don't? Who else is going to do it? Hey, Welsh English Center, English Career Center. Hi, sister. How what's going on? If I don't, oh, y'all, I'm on Streamyard. If you want to see my fat face, listen, and all of my chins, they're very cute. So, yeah. Child, I make my own self laugh. Hello, honey. Just make myself giggle. Have you ever just like been so silly? I've been this way my whole entire life. I will sit there and entertain myself and make myself giggle. Hey, sweetness, Patricia. I don't. Nana used to feel that. Oh, child, when you keep yourself very good company, young man. And I said, I do. Uh, I do. Pretty much. All right. Now hold on. Did they kick me out already? No.
No,
Good.
you're still here.
Oh, thank God. I've only been here for 2 minutes. How awful. I was introduced to your channel by Adrena. Hi, honey. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, no, listen. Um, Welsh, do you want to come up? Oh, I'm sorry, honey. Okay. Yeah. Well, Sister Adrena, who's in Mexico. I'm Rakia. Oh, that's very pretty. I'm Rakia. Hey, Sister Mira, and Sister Sweetness. Hello. Now, everybody also posting on live stream on StreamYard. So I'm now on Club Deck on Clubhouse. And these are sisters that are coming in now. And Sister Melissa's on the stage. So, how are you doing, Melissa? What's going on with you, honey?
I'm good. I was just about to head to bed. So,
Oh, well, thank you for coming in, honey, and saying hello, and being gracious enough to say hello to me.
oh, thank you for sharing everything that you share, though. So
Oh, thank you, honey.
I'm happy to be.
What time is it over there?
Um, it's 1:44 a.m.
Oh, God. Yeah, you should be in bed. Oops. Well, no, listen. Well, um, it's 10:44 here. Stay up with me, unless you're tired. So I understand,
Bad
honey.
influence. Bad influence.
Listen, I was up till like 3 o'clock last night fixing the Patreon. I'm doing a Patreon, of course, that's introducing an old style of spirit conjure, spirit bottle conjure that includes Rosa Jericho, dry, of course, not wet, but Rosa Jericho in complete spirit form, just dry, and having utilizing her as a major spiritual force behind that particular spirit jar. So it's very graphic driven, very graphic heavy. I said I was going to share those graphics online, and I'm going to now. Before I forget, let me do that now because I have all the graphics. You know what? I'm going to share them
You
on
know,
Clubhouse.
she's my weakness. So the
Rosa Jericho. Rosa Jericho is a
yeah,
beautiful. Why they do that? Is a beautiful, wonderful mojo. Really pretty mojo.
I know. I'm still.
Mhm,
I love all of the teachings,
mhm.
and again, every time you speak of her, I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to water her. So I'm doing it right now.
Oh, there
I
we go.
know. I know. The teachings you have are of the dry, but mine was I'm attempting to revive her after a different teaching.
Mhm.
I want her to be in a healthy state before she ends up in dry state again.
Okay, exactly, definitely. What I love about her, no, hold on, a little, little sample of graphics from upcoming project on Patreon. Y'all, I'm actually putting this on um, Discord on Patreon. Utilizing Rose of Jericho. Rose of Jericho in spirit jars. There. Okay, let's just post it. Ha ha! That's so cool. Oh, I didn't want that. Get rid of that. That's a copy. Yeah, remove attachment. Thank you so much. There we go. Lovely. Very good. So, give y'all a little glimpse in of what I'm doing. Hey, Peachy. Any tips for someone who wants to get started with Hoodoo? Wow, caught you as just as you started. Girl, this is amazing. Me too. And I cracked my natural. I just cracked myself up. Now, Peachy, anyone who wants to get started in Hoodoo, what I like to do, because everybody, what we're gonna do is spirit baths tonight, definitely. Um, just talk about spirit baths. When I get started in Hoodoo and Conjure, the first thing Clubhouse is very unusually quiet right now. Y'all okay over there? No, they're fine. Usually they would have been kicked me out by now. It's only been 7 minutes. Hey, Sister Otter, Sister Lena, Sister Mira, Sister Welsh, Sister Lena, everybody. I'm actually on live stream. So the link is right on stage. There we go, honey. Hey, sis. Hey, honey. All right. Now I'm going to invite Sister Mira up and then Sister Will. Oh, she's hard to come up.
Hey, Theo.
Ha!
How
Hi.
are you?
Pretty good. How are you doing, honey?
Good. I'm just in the car with my friend, Crystal.
Hey, Crystal.
Hi.
Hi. How are you? I hope you're doing fine.
Yes. It's her first time in Clubhouse, and we was actually talking about you not too long ago because I had gave her your information for a private reading.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, he's on right now.
Mm-hmm. On right now. Yeah, it's 10:49 Pacific Standard Time here, Friday. It's not too late, and I did want to share information about readings. Not readings, but about spiritual baths online on StreamYard with Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Just information, vital information that folks need to take better care of themselves spiritually. Just valid information. Hey, King Will. Hey, Sister Kia and Sister Rose. So just information that folks will need just to take care of themselves nowadays, definitely.
Yeah, we were just talking because in her backyard she has a lot of plants growing that just like that she got at home, she never a lot of, and I was like, we were talking about I was like, yeah, if you show Theo these plants, he'll know exactly what some of these are.
Probably most of them. You know what I like to do to identify plants? What I like to do, what really helped me when me and Granddad was first teaching me how to what he would call it eyeball it. Um, I like to take plants and just take a little bit of a leaf and crush it. That smell will kind of give you an idea of what it can do. The smell will also let you know if it's edible, but it also lets you know exactly what it will do medicinally, especially spirit wise. Plants that have a tendency to smell very minty are very much like camphor. They're really good for money. Mint, think of mint money. If they smell like camphor or they have a very medical kind of smell, more than likely they'll be very good for spiritual protection. If they have a hot smell, like a spicy smell, they'll probably be really good for love or for spiritual protection, but also to speed things up. So if you really think about it, cinnamon has more of a spicy smell. Cinnamon in most spirit work is used to speed things up or to augment spiritual power concerning certain spirit works. So I learned by smell first and foremost. I feel that was a really cool way to teach a kid, to get a kid interested in things like that. And mind you, if it has no smell, then it has no spiritual value. Not in this, it's a lightweight. For instance, chamomile. Fresh chamomile leaves are beautifully powerful. But chamomile flowers are not powerful at all. I mean, they're powerful sleepy wise, medicinally, but spirit wise, they're kind of lightweights. And there are plenty of other things that you don't really get a smell from them. More than likely, they're lightweight, so they're not as powerful as they can be.
She asked, what about dandelions?
The dandelion root is really, really powerful. But if you take dandelion root, you take it out of the ground, it's going to have more of an acrid and a really acidic kind of a medicinal smell. Dandelion root is really good for um, it's good for grieving work. This is spirit work. Then dandelion root is also good for spiritual protection, big time. Getting bad mojo off of you.
Mm.
Mhm. Absolutely. Definitely. Hey, Sister Molly, Sister Melissa, Sister Rose. Now, I'm reminding everybody that I'm on StreamYard as well. So the StreamYard link is on the stage. It's right there. If you want to come over and say hello or just join me on here. But, oh, hey, Sister Rose. But y'all know that Clubhouse likes to kick me out and just treat me like a redhead stepchild, just needs to beat up on me. So I'm not bothered with Clubhouse. I'm going to take it at least. Go be on site Clubhouse if you ever should meet. But after about 30 minutes, they start to act up. So it is what it is. Hey, Sister Rose, how you doing, honey?
Hi, Theo. It's like almost 2 a.m. here, but I just wanted to come on here and say that I graduate tomorrow.
Oh my God, congratulations, honey.
Thank
Oh,
you.
wow.
Yeah, but here's the thing, like I've been going through so much in this school to the point where I didn't want to go.
Mhm.
And today I had this like Uber ride. Well, we had a hooding ceremony. It's the master, so we had the hooding ceremony. So I was like, okay, I'll go to that because all the master students are there, and like I actually made a really great like friend group within
Mm.
like the last like month. Like we really connected really well, and I felt like in better spirits. So I was like, okay, I'll go to that, and like I'll meet with my friends, and but I'm not gonna go to graduation.
Yeah.
I had this Uber ride today, and it was like this lady just like gave me. I feel like it was a message
Mhm.
because she was like, well, first of all, she was like on FaceTime with her friend, and like they both gave me like this pep talk basically about like how proud I should be,
Mhm.
and like about all of my accomplishments that I did it in spite of being an immigrant,
Mhm.
being like not being from this country, like so much like it was just so wonderful to hear her like be so proud and say like I was like saying like my family unfortunately won't be able to come. She's like,
Mhm.
yo, like no, like just joking around, like if anything, like I'll join, like you need to make it. It was just such a wonderful like message that I received today,
Mhm.
and I feel like even more like proud to for tomorrow.
Mhm.
And yeah, I don't know, I'm just so excited. Like I was not like a few days ago.
No, you should be proud of yourself,
Yeah,
honey. That's a major accomplishment that you had. It's a major
yeah,
accomplishment. Absolutely.
yeah, for sure.
Mhm. College is not easy, honey. It's not easy for anybody.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, it's not easy at all. So I know you get to the point whereas, and think of it this way. The worst part of it is over. But also too, you're
hmm,
starting a brand new journey of your life. Whereas your
yeah,
life is starting, your life is beginning. And when you get into the workforce or start your own business, whatever you want to go, um, you're gonna be so grateful. College for me was rough. But there's so many aspects
hmm,
of it that I'm so nostalgic to it right now. Some of my
hmm,
best years were in college. I really got to learn who I was, um, and how the world, how it was my first entree into understanding how the world worked. So,
hmm,
um, yeah, definitely. They're absolutely right. You should be absolutely proud. It can be really difficult, but at the end of the day, you made it, and that's all that matters now.
yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, I was going through this like very difficult. I think I tried to get a reading, but just difficult time with my like thesis advisor.
Mhm.
Where like it really feels like, and they really give us no support. Like I feel like I'm like in the right in some ways, but I
Mhm.
did this really incredible project which like she never really understood or like even really cared to engage with, and it just felt very isolating for the entire time.
Mhm.
But I've been able to find people that like value it and like speak about it in the
Mhm.
way that it deserves to be spoken about. But even then, it's like if um if I were to publish this in like the school and everything, I was going through a dilemma where like I don't want this lady's name on my
Mhm.
and whereas people are like like no, like this is stuff that people need to see. It could be like a president. for future work, which that's like essentially what it would be,
Mhm.
where I was still kind of like still in it, and I was still couldn't get past like the comments that she would make and things like that. And I think it's just maybe also making me just realize like in the long run, like it won't really maybe matter, and like I will
Mhm.
need that. I maybe having my work out there is needed, and maybe it's I should put that above
Mhm.
just anything that basically happened. Just like how I'm putting like things how I'm putting the graduation above the things that happened to me.
Yeah, absolutely, honey. Because
Yeah.
there's certain instances, whereas like what I do, for instance. I mean, I can always use myself for an example. I mean, I talk to spirit people, you
Mhm.
know, and I do readings for a living, and to get out here in LA doing strange things was, and just out here getting a show to help this, all of it is just so unconventional.
Mhm.
I have people in my own family that like he's wasting his time.
Mhm.
That just makes no sense. They're small-minded people. But this is your life. This is
Mhm.
your existence, your heartbeat, your breath, your life, your understanding of self, the conceptualization of the audacity that happens to be you in skin. At the end of the day, in three, two, one, what she has to say is not going to matter. It hurt in those moments, but that's only in those moments. And let it go. Do not hold on to it.
Mhm.
Because one thing that you'll learn about in this life, you're going to have plenty of people that don't necessarily believe in you. They don't believe in what you represent, what you have to say. May not even want to hear from you because of how you look, how you are, being female, being a minority, whatever. That's their little fantasy. That's how they want to see the world. It has nothing to do with you.
Mhm.
Period. Nothing at all. And you have to understand that. I think being young, we have an idealistic way of seeing the world. And I wouldn't change that for a thing. That's actually a gift. Hold on to that as long as you can. It will have you thrive in this world so beautifully. Don't ever lose that idealism. But protect it. Protect that innocence from people that are jaded, from people that will feel as if they have the right to say, do, and speak any way they want without repercussions. It's not, those are projections.
Mhm.
Ill-fitting clothes are ill-fitting clothes. Ill-fitting thoughts are ill-fitting thoughts. Ill-fitting words are ill-fitting words because one, they don't fit on you. They didn't come from you. They have nothing to do with you. It's still going to hurt your feelings, but at the end of the day, that's not really about you. That lady probably needs help. She probably needs Jesus. She probably
Oh
needs
yeah.
something else. She probably needs a lot. So, but what's probably happening is the idealism. It hurt your feelings because you do. A lot of young people see the world in a certain way. I wouldn't change that for it in any way. Keep your idealism, hold on to it. It's going to have you do some amazing things in this world because you'll be the one to say I can when everybody is saying no, you can't.
Mhm.
You see why that idealism and that innocence is so important.
Mhm.
Because it'll have you do the impossible when nobody thought it was possible.
Mhm.
Yeah. So hold on to it, but protect it better. Just protect it a little bit better. You have to protect it from the meanies. Some of the people can be meanies. You got to protect them. Protect that innocence. Mhm.
Yeah, for sure. I've been in the friend group that I mentioned. I don't know why how it took so long, but it's like the real first time that I feel like fully like embraced by like a group. Like I've never
Mm.
been able to do well in groups, and I'm like, wow, like I feel so wonderful with this group, and I feel like it's all part of it. Like just now feeling more,
Mhm.
um, I guess knowing where like I fit more, and like how to protect more of that.
Mhm.
Because I know like the people that are gonna nurture me in that way. I don't know. I feel like it's all coming together at this
Mhm.
time. So I wanted to come on here
Oh,
and share.
thank you, honey.
Yeah.
The one thing I've found in my travels, the more you accept yourself, the more you sit with yourself and understand that this is who I am, and you sit with yourself and you love yourself, and you first and foremost honor thyself. You understand this is me, and you love all of you. The strangest thing starts to happen. The world starts to love you back. So many people look outside themselves and wanting to find love in the strangest places, sometimes in very wrong places. Out externally, everything you've ever needed has been inside of you.
Mhm.
And that's my gift to you, my darling. Always continue to look inside the world, because when you do that, you resonate a sense of authority and sovereign. That I treat myself beautifully, and the world will reverberate to that sovereignty. It will even protect you from people that don't necessarily want to treat you bad. They want to treat you not the way you represent, because you're going to be resonating on a wavelength and on a frequency, and it literally will attract people to you.
Mm.
You will create a whole world around you based on how you feel on the inside. So I tell
Yeah.
people always, all the time, you want a better world for yourself, you want a better understanding, you want a better life for yourself, start with loving you.
Mm.
You develop that relationship with oneself, and you feel it, and it becomes a part of your genome, part of your spiritual genome. You'll start to attract that. The world will mold itself. Remember, you're attracting and creating your whole world around you, minute by minute. Your likes, your dislikes, negativity, positivity. You're creating it all around you. And you do that, you end up creating an existence, a world around you that's completely, absolutely blessed and wonderful. Absolutely.
Mm.
That's tailor made for you. I feel you've already started doing that. That's how you found this space. And you'll
Oh yeah.
find you'll find other spaces too. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's been a journey for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm.
So definitely do that. Just always
Yeah.
consider. And listen, the jerk offs and the assholes out there. The thing about it, honey, they all need
Mhm.
help. They need exorcisms usually. So a lot of times they just sometimes need a punch in the face. But at the end of the day, it's not you to do it. Just go and
Mhm.
let them do what they're going to do, which is be assholes. But that has
Mhm.
nothing to do with you at all. Absolutely nothing.
Mhm.
Mm.
Oof. Yeah. Thank you, Theo.
You're welcome, honey. Definitely. Child,
Yeah.
sometimes we just have to remind ourselves, uh, ma'am or sir, um, I appreciate the fact you're breathing, got a beating heart, but you're a jackass. And what you just said has nothing to do with me. And I'm gonna walk off over here because you crazy and you need Jesus, and I'm gonna hope that for you. Bye. And how the hell did you get in my life, even for 5 minutes? I'm like, what the hell did I do to attract you to me? Probably need something. I'm not
No,
for you.
listen.
Goodbye.
No, listen. I met this older man here, not like outside of the school. He has like his wife, his kids, and everything, but he really wanted to go to my final presentation, and I invited him, and he wasn't able to stay for everything. But the
Mhm.
little that he observed, he was like, "I hope you got a cleanse from these people."
God.
That's how bad the energy was, and he's like, he doesn't even know half of what I went through.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I'm like the worst part is done. Um,
Hmm.
and yeah, all that stuff now is for me to celebrate.
It's time to celebrate, honey, but
Yeah.
keep in mind the whole idea about it. Oh, Lord Jesus. Oh, girl. Maybe a cleansing, a good spirit bath would not be a bad idea. Theo, can you talk about
Yeah.
procrastination? Yeah, but a good spiritual
Yeah.
bath would not be a bad idea at all. Now, mind you,
Mhm.
Peaches on here, she said, any tips for anyone who wants to start hoodoo? Because that was a while ago. Start a ancestor altar. There are plenty of books out here. Y'all, I have a whole reading list on timeless hoodoo. It's hoodoo must-haves on. Y'all, I can never find it. I'm gonna find it on my phone. I'm gonna do it. Where's my phone at? Because I can find it on my phone, and I'm gonna send it to myself. I have a whole reading list. Do a lot of beautiful reading, absolutely, but wrong. Do a lot of beautiful reading, but also too start an ancestor altar, an ancestor reverence space. Get in touch with your ancestors. A white cloth, white candle, coffee, A little bit of rum, a little bit of tobacco, um, pictures, Bible, pictures of those that have passed on, that are in spirit, and start from there. Put fresh flowers on it. A devotional space for people that we love, people that we care for. Oh, there we go. People that we love, people that we care for, people that we still want to remember in our lives. Start there, and trust me, you absolutely will be inspired. Oh, there we go, honey. You'll absolutely be inspired. That's a great way to start. But also, too, honey, hang out with us. Mind you, I have a Patreon, Timeless Hoodoo on Patreon, that's constantly talking about Hoodoo, Conjure. Honey, there's so much magic on Timeless Patreon. And this Timeless Hoodoo, just so much down to earth magic, low country magic from everything literally under the sun. So go give that a try, definitely. It's a lot of information out there for you, definitely. Ooh, hey, Sister Princess, what's going on, honey? How are you doing?
Oh, so you were saying for her to do a ancestor altar and then start with some books.
Hmm. Absolutely. Do an ancestor altar. Start with books too, definitely. But
What
mhm.
what would an ancestor altar do for her?
Ancestor altar gets you in contact with your ancestors. It gets you in contact with those ancestor reference space. Get you in contact with those that are part of you, but that are no longer in skin. We have to have our ancestors are the first. Sorry, y'all, I'm emailing myself. There we go. Are our first understanding of our divinity within ourselves. A lot of times, people are having dreams, having notions of people in our house, ancestors with smells and found objects. But that reference space keeps a portal, and it creates a portal in your home, a home and a home. That way, those synchronicities they start to make sense. Like, let's say Nana has been trying to contact you for the longest time because you're not maybe doing beautifully, want to congratulate you. Or maybe you need lessons because you need to do something. And what that will do is that'll give her a closer understand that really places her directly into your life. Nana can now talk to you. Nana can be around you. Nana can take care of you and get you that job that you want, but also hold you dear like she used to, because her home is now in your home. It's two major energies inside your home, a portal within a portal. Now she's not a physical skin, mm, my sweet list, but she's definitely next to you now.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, honey. And hold on, must read. Hoodoo must haves. There we go. Definitely. So that's the reason why I've always recommended an ancestor altar for those that's starting out in Conjure, those that are starting out in Hoodoo. You must understand where you come from. I can't tell you once you start an ancestor altar how many times so many people have started an ancestor altar, and then suddenly they start people started handing them pictures of ancestors. Ancestors will want to be on that altar space. They start getting all of these black and white pictures. Where all these pictures come just from nowhere, just from everywhere. But you have relatives you ain't even heard from. Big old photo album. I just thought to give this to you. I don't know why I thought about it, but I just want to give it to you, girl. And that's happened. That's happened many, 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 many times. Um, Here we go. I gotta put this on there. That's happened a whole lot. So that's why you start, so your ancestors can help you. Now that's Peaches on StreamYard. She wanted to know where to start. Also, too, now I'm getting this link now. As soon as it opens, so that I can go ahead on
Yeah.
and uh-huh.
So she's listening to you because it's her first time in the room, and even when you say hoodoo, like she doesn't know what that means. But like she was saying, like she had a question about the when you say ancestors and if you didn't have good relations with your grandparents or anyone like that, are those still who you put on your altar?
Um no, this is Hoodoo must-haves. Reading. Sorry, everybody. Reading. Hold on. No, you definitely can still put them on your altar, but you also have to understand that the relationships your relationships that you have um, are not going to be. They're not going to be the same way, honey. When you're not in the body, and you're in the light, and literally in everlasting, literally in the realm of eternity, the pettiness that they once felt is gone. You're literally in the light and the grace of God. Do you really expect for them to feel as petty as they used to? God would not allow it. Unless they're earthbound. Now usually if ancestors are earthbound, they're not allowed on the ancestor altar. They're not allowed on the ancestor altar till they raise up to a certain level. So you're going to have lead patriarchs and lead matriarchs that will know how to control that space. And these are ancestors that have clearly crossed over into that light. And so they'll keep other ancestors that are problematic, ancestor of people that are part of our bloodlines, that raped themselves into our bloodlines, they murdered into our bloodline. Those ancestors that are problematic, that can quite possibly be demonic, that should not be along with our bloodlines for nefarious reasons. They're kept off of the ancestor quadrant. Not everybody's allowed, not every ancestor is allowed on that white cloth ancestor altar. Only those of high accord, only those that can be of good doing, and only those that can be of help and assistance. Mhm. Mhm. So when you have your ancestor altar, don't think that you're inviting the worst of the worst. Especially with that white cloth, you always make sure you have a white cloth in your ancestor altar, because we all have lead matriarchs and lead patriarchs. Lead patriarchs, you sometimes we have one, a lot of times we have two or three of them. And from my experience and my grandfather's experience doing just doing spirit readings, they usually there is a lead patriarch and matriarch from every single generation. There is a female or male ancestor that would lead the others, that controls that energy on that ancestor altar who goes on. And then you have Eguns. These are ancestors that are far, 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 far back into time, that not only represent you, but that represent tens of thousands of other people that may be a part of your ancestor quadrant or your bloodline, but that you have no idea that they exist. So Eguns, or think of Eguns as spirits that govern your life, but other people's lives as well. They're still family, but you just don't know that they're family. They're family very, very removed, very removed. For example, if let's say you have an ancestor that's 18 generations behind, 18 generations, 17 generations ago, concerning now, that ancestor is probably going to be responsible for over 26,000 people. Mhm. Those are called goons. Now, goons don't necessarily come on the ancestor. The ancestor altar can represent them, but they're so highly elevated, and they also represent other people. I feel a lot of our present day, what's called modern ancestors, they go to the goons because there's a whole hierarchy in our ancestor quadrant. They'll go to the goons to deal with major, major issues such as keeping you alive on this earth, bringing abundance, outstanding aspects of wealth, and they all work together as a family, specifically because we're all part of the same bloodline.
Thank
Mhm.
you.
You're very welcome, honey. Very, very welcome. So then, but with the ancestor altar, there are different types of ancestor altars. There's the ancestor reverence space, which is just going to have one or two or three, maybe four glasses of water, a candle, white cloth always, a Bible, rosary, a little bit of liquor, maybe something sweet to eat, white flowers. That's an ancestor reverence space, and pictures of those that have passed on. But then we have an spiritus bovida, or spiritual bovida. Now, that's more so, that's what I like to call a working ancestor altar. And it's a large bowl of water that's surrounded by 6 to 9 glasses of water. And then it'll have a wooden crucifix. Some people make it blue water. They put camphor in all the glass of water, but each glass of water represents a guardian or an angel or a lead matriarch or patriarch. And that large glass of water represents the goons or the older ancestors as a whole, or celestial angels that are part of that can be a part of your quadrant, or higher beings that are part of your quadrant, or even the anointed Jesus Christ Himself. But that large glass of water can represent higher ancestors. Now, in that, now there'll always be a white candle in the middle of all this glass of water. That's a working altar, and that altar is what spiritualists go to, because it really, that type of altar itself, it creates such a force field around you, to whereas you can literally feel your ancestors around you. That's the type of ancestor altar a person like myself would have, because I'm a spiritualist. I'm a psychic, and that's what I read for other people throughout the day. So I would need a bigger range of an ancestor altar. I have a simple ancestor altar. I don't really necessarily need a bovet. I don't want one, not right now, because it surrounds me with so much energy. Um, but once I get a more settled space, a larger space that has a hoodoo room, more than likely on the south wall, on a surface that's there, adjacent to my work area, I probably will have a white cloth boveda, just to hold space for so many of my ancestral quadrant. It really centralizes your energies really beautifully. But problematic ancestors, petty ancestors, all that malarkey going on, they're not on your ancestor altar. They can't be. They're not allowed at all. Hmm. So let's say if you have ancestors that were molesters, ancestors that were just, oh, they're just awful. They're not allowed on the ancestor altar at all. Oh, y'all, did I lose you? Oh, sweet Lord. Typically, egoons are venerated in a pot or in the corner of a root. Um, Hold on. Powder in the corner of a room, on the floor. Definitely, absolutely. Their egoons are much like Elegua. They're very, very much part of the earth. They're so incredibly, there's such a vast understanding. They represent such a huge aspect of humanity. I mean, going back 18 to 17 generations, one of those grand ancestors representing over 26,000 people, they not only have control over your life, they have control over thousands of other lives too. So that's an immense amount of sovereignty concerning that dynamic of not only your lives but other people's lives too as well. So it gets complicated. It's really, really beautiful, but the ancestor reverence space. It's there to comfort you. It's there to guide you. It's also there to provide a home, in a home, for your ancestors to come to you, to be with you, to comfort you, to provide for you too, definitely, and to break bread with you spiritually. So it's a wonderful devotion space. That's the first thing that I'd recommend coming to Conjure, because a lot of my work is ancestor derived. I don't really do anything outside the realm of ancestors. If I'm not involved with the ancestors, I really shouldn't be doing it at all. Don't want to. It's not. It's no. Mm-mm. I'm not going to be involved. Mm-mm. Nope. My ancestors can't be involved. Why should I? I need protection in front of me, in the back of me, and all four sides of me. If they can't be there, I'm not going to be there either. I need eyes everywhere. Hmm. Hey, Sister Asha. Sister Sylvia. Sister Natural. Sister Natural. Sister Sylvia. Sister Yentl. Sister Marley. Sister Melissa. Hello, everybody. What's going on? Now, do y'all have any questions? Definitely. I know a lot of times we will have problems with our ancestors. Definitely. I know. Um, And that's a really valid question, but a lot of times they're not on the ancestor altar. They're just not there. They're not allowed to be there. If you're African American in this country, I've heard that especially from Learning Annex and other institutions, you'll have brothers and sisters that really are really scared that other people that have become a part of our bloodlines through nefarious means, like I don't want the people on, such as slave owners, that raped and pillaged and killed into our bloodlines, those people are not allowed on the ancestor altar. They are, a lot of them are looking for redemption, but we have other altars for them. There's an ancestor altar called a working ancestor altar. That's not all white. It has different colored bandanas on it. When you come across ancestors like that, they have to prove themselves, and they can only be on the lead ancestor altar only after the matriarchs have approved them. Because remember, the matriarchs is probably who they hurt. And if they don't allow them on that ancestor altar, they can't be there. But you can work them because their blood is in your veins. So I like to say, make them work. Shit, I want reparations. So you gonna work for it, and they have to work for you because they're constantly looking for redemption. Mhm. Absolutely. So I hope that helped, honey. Now, everybody, I'm on StreamYard. So if Clubhouse cuts out, head over to StreamYard. The link is on the stage. Head over there, and that's where I'm going to be at. And just talking about spirit baths. Now, earlier we talked about spiritual baths earlier. Now, the folks up in Clubhouse, they already they've heard this information earlier, but I'm gonna repeat it again. Yeah, I noticed when I moved to Los Angeles, I didn't have the desire to be in the Hollywood industry. I'm a theater baby. I often question if it's my father's energy is with me and keep me safe. Absolutely. Charlie, yes, absolutely. I have received many opportunities concerning Blood Brother Chronicles. Blood Brother Chronicles and other projects I'm working on. These are major, major, major projects. Potential is out of this world. But um, my ancestors said no, no. They are choosing specific people like Shelley and that boy. He's a man I like. Choosing specific people, specific situations to make this happen. I know what they're doing. I know exactly what they're doing. I know. Um, I know exactly what they're doing. Mother took her spiritual bath today. She's been glowing since speaking with. Hi. Very good, honey. Oh, very, very good. Don't child, please. Okay, absolutely. I know that for a fact. I put that in the hand of my ancestors. Stuff of the Chronicles is cleared in the hand of like Grandmama Ruby and Granddaddy and their grandmamas and other ancestors, my goons. Yeah, I'm sitting pretty. I'm not worried about. That's the reason why I don't worry about it. I don't worry that they have it. They're going to do what they want to do with it. They know where I want to go, how I want to get there. But their job is also to keep me safe and to make sure that I don't. Um, as y'all can now tell, especially what's going on with the Diddler, Hollywood is funky. There's a lot of shady stuff that happens here. And Hollywood is being planned out. When I tell you Hollywood is being racked over the coals, I do a lot of spirit. I have morning readings that stop around about 11, but they start around usually about 6:30 a.m. I haven't been the last week or so because everybody's scared. So they'll put me on retainer, or I have them during the weekend. But honey, I used to. I think they're starting to pick up now. But this Puffy thing, everybody's scared. Everybody's scared what's happening to Puffy. Everybody's scared. I think about every morning reading out of every five, I'll have one with questions. T, pull the cards. What's going to happen? And I don't. I want to ask, like, how are you affiliated with him? I don't. It's none of my business. But usually the work, the cards are good. They're good. But I have to. This town is infamously corrupt, vastly corrupt, and it's misogynistic. It's filthy. It's full of liars. It's full of cheats and carpetbaggers and snake oil salesmen. Hollywood is the worst. That's the reason why it's being made to clean itself out. These people, they're all moving to Las Vegas now. How do you tell the difference between ancestor intuition and self-thought? Oh, that's a beautiful question. How do you know that thought, what you call self-thought, wasn't put there by ancestors? I'm always going to assume that they're both the same thing. There are a lot of times, and that's happened to me through because I've been doing this for over 21 years. I've always understood that if I have a thought, it's coming from someplace divine, and it ain't coming usually from me. Like when I spirit read, half of me is reading y'all, but a larger half is coming from someplace else. I just know how to read between the lines. I know how to decipher it. It's probably my ancestors. There are a lot of times I'll see people. I don't know who they're attached to, but my ancestors will let me see. Oh, okay. Let me see. I know someone else's ancestor, and usually their child will hit me up that day or the day after, and then everything start to make sense during the reading. Um, as far as ancestors, intuition, self thought, it could be. It's probably for me. I assume that it's all the same. All of it's the same. How do you know that they're not speaking to you? Probably is. Because intuition in itself is divine, especially if it keeps you on this earth breathing and living lovely. Hey, King Will, especially if it's here, keeping you where you need to be. It's all divine because it all keeps you safe. How do you know it's not your guides or the Heavenly Father Himself or Heavenly Mother or of course your ancestors? So at least with Conjure, from where I come from, we always feel that also too, there's such thing as your intuition connecting to your ancestors. That's intuition, definitely. But if a thought continues more and more and more and more over and over again, that's absolutely your ancestor. And you better take heed because more than likely it's trying to keep you safe. Also, too, and I say this all the time, and I've been repeating this too in the last few weeks. If you dealt with a problem and your ancestors, and you felt you dealt with it, it's smooth. Okay, you want to come up here? And you felt you've dealt with it. It's smooth as it could be. And if you keep dealing with that problem, more than likely, your ancestors are asking you, can we take a hand in this? Can we be a part of this? Can we do what we got to do? Because see, your ancestors, they listen to conversations you can't hear. They're sitting at tables that you can't sit at, that you have not been invited to. They can be in spaces you cannot be, and they're there to protect you. Your ancestors are in places they know when your name is called, and they will go to that space, even if that space is dangerous. Why'd you call my child's name? What the fuck is you talking about my child for? And they will listen. And you felt you took care of that problem. But yet all of a sudden this anger comes in you. I thought I took care of that. Why am I still angry at this heifer? That anger it's about a 9 out of 10 chance that their ancestors is placing that anger on you. What I do all the time, ancestors take care of it. I feel what you're saying. Do what you got to do. I did my best, and that anger leaves you so quick. It just goes away. Sometimes it shoots away. I say, yeah, it was them. It was them. And pretty soon that person, I read in the funny pages something happened to them. That happens all the time. But a lot of time when ancestors are always interacting in our lives in the strangest of ways, most beautiful ways, we just have to know what we're seeing and know what we're feeling. A lot of times they're interacting with you. You just don't know it. Mhm. Absolutely. Hey, King Will, what's going on? How you doing? Can't go off. Can't go put King Will on the stage. Hey, definitely. That's all that is. So just keep that in mind. That's a really good question. How do you tell the difference between ancestor intuition? Ancestor intuition is self-thought. I'm okay. Okay, very good. Now, ancestors' intuition or intuition placed in you by ancestors. But that's all the same, especially if you have that ancestor altar. When you built an ancestor reference space or built a space just for them, you sleep in the same house they sleep in. You eat in the same house they eat in. You be a part of the same. Your home is their home. So of course they're gonna be closer to you, closer around you, watching out for you. So of course they're gonna be a part of your soul, be a part of your spirit, making sure you're safe. Pay attention to those thoughts, pay attention to those understandings, pay attention to them. More than likely they have something to say. And my ancestors are nosy. They talk a lot and they be all in my business. And I wouldn't have it any other way because I'm nosy, talk a lot, and I'm in everybody's business. I come from a long line of spirit workers. So you know my ancestors is woo. Child, there's sometimes I get messages from people in the news I've never met before. And I would just sit here and say, well, okay. Because it feels like my ancestors are everywhere. They're everywhere. They're just paying attention because I'm curious about these things. I want to know. If I even think about let's say a celebrity or a person, just even wondering, by the end of that day, I'm gonna have more information about that person than what I should know. And probably my grandmama Ruby probably gave it to me. And she probably, or one of my other ancestors, they probably gave it to me. Just because I'm curious, but I'm also a spirit reader. Also, too, if I have more information, more than likely that person is either going to become a client or it's information I need to know to relate to the gathering for specific reasons concerning what they need to know concerning world events, what's coming up. It just works that way, as we all know. See, I'm Southern, y'all, so nosy is a term of endearment for us. Child, show is a good spirit worker that ain't nosy. Why the hell is you paying him or her? You're not nosy. Why am I paying you? I'm paying you to be nosy, to look out for some shit that I can't see. Can you see it? Yeah, I can see it. Okay. Money well spent then. I hope that answers your question, honey. Absolutely. All right. Now hold on. Do y'all have any more questions here on Clubhouse? Do y'all also you can also ask them to give you that discernment? Yes, you can. Now, Sister Yento Lopez in Clubhouse said you can actually give them that discernment. That way you can decipher whether it's ancestors or otherwise. Absolutely. Now, with me, um, discernment for me is as natural as breathing. I'll know when it's my ancestors because, and also to a lot of the thoughts a lot of my thought processes is coming from someplace else because I'm usually in a spiritual space. Even when I'm sitting here sewing, like creating great greens or working on Patreon, I'm usually in a spiritual space. I think, honey, I don't think I have normal thought process, like just mundane things. Of course I do, absolutely all the time. But if I follow that rabbit hole, that mundane thought processes is going to usually lead to a lesson. Like that's something I need to know. And that's clearly my ancestors. So I like to think that my ancestors are constantly giving me information. Y'all call them downloads, but I'm not a computer. So they're constantly giving me information that I need to know, that I need to understand, even in mundane thoughts, because I'm always testing myself to see if that mundane thought is from me or if it's from someplace high. I'm constantly testing myself to see if something is right, if I got it right, if I got it wrong. What does right feel like in that situation? What does wrong psychically feel right? So I need to understand those energy signatures when I'm reading for people. What's right, if I'm going the right direction, what's wrong, what's a lie, what's the truth. what surrounds the energy that surrounds them. What does that feel like? My whole big thing is, okay, I feel what you're saying, but what does that feel like energy wise? I'm constantly asking ancestors that all the time. What does that feel like? What would it feel like to me? Like, for instance, Netanyahu over in Israel. That thing is, he's surrounded by legions of darkness. I felt it when I was walking on with the pizza. But I was walking on with the pizza, and I got that thought, that feeling, that inference of that's what it feels like to be inundated with so much darkness. It's just, he is just fearful. He's saturated with fear. And so, because I would always see this anger and rage and hatred, it's fear. This man is about to go to jail for the rest of his life. And in jail isn't going to be nice for him. He is literally shitting, not literally, but he's literally shitting his pants, figuratively. He's fearful. It's so much fear surrounding him. It was suffocating. I had to stop, feel it, let it fall to my feet. Okay, I got it. And continue to walk. But I'm always looking for the best that I can find, just knowing some stuff, just being nosy. Is there a way, Paige is saying, is there a way to see spirits and communicate with them without an altar? Or is it best to communicate with spirits with an altar so the ancestors can guide me? I wouldn't do it without an altar. Some people have the gift of seeing spirit without an altar. Honey, there are tons of people that don't have no ancestor altar. Tons of them. And they see spirit beautifully. Absolutely. I'm not one of them. Do I want to? I can't say what I don't want, what I do want concerning spiritual gifts. I don't. Um, but an ancestor altar is more of a controlled environment because you know that they patrol that space, they contain that space is theirs. They'll have more of a carte blanche on that space versus trying to see spirit by yourself. Because anything tricksters can trick you. And you think you're doing something until a year later you find out that that's a trickster and all the information you've built on, well, it's all a lie. That's when it gets dangerous. So rely on the ancestor altar, definitely. Ancestors are better than Google for sure. Ask the questions and the answers come through a journey for me. They usually do. I have asked questions about people that are not even here on this earth. Like Marie Antoinette. I was reading a biography, just curious about her because she's French. And Louisiana's French. And I just wanted to know a little bit about her. And I got to understand she loved sweets. And so I typed in Google just Marie Antoinette that she loves sweets. And all of a sudden, I just got this taste in my mouth. This was last year, I believe. And I just got this almond. It was like this almond, like this white cake. It was it was a light cake the way they made, like an angel food cake. And it had this almond paste. And it felt like the almond paste was made with this cream that had to have been champagne. And it was so delicious. And I was told instantly that's her favorite cake. How could I have gotten that? But see, I started with just to me, Marie Antoinette, she likes sweets, all that going on. And I even got an inference of maybe even a dessert that would have been her favorite cake. And I could taste it. But my ancestors are doing that constantly all the time. Because they're nosy, I'm nosy. So I can relate that to y'all, maybe in a lesson, or maybe create something like try to create something like that for entertainment. Girl, it's so good. I don't know if I've ever created. Bay in the distance, so I'm not overwhelmed. Oh, as a person who sees spirit, I saw that without an altar, and it used to freak me out. When I started my altar, my ancestors helped me to process how and why I see spirit, and they help me and to keep them at bay and at distance so I'm not overwhelmed. Absolutely. You have an ancestor altar so that you're not overwhelmed with spirit. It's the safest space to understand spiritual matters. I don't know any other way to be safe. But then again, you do have people that see spirit naturally, and that's perfectly fine. That's absolutely beautiful. Hey, Sylvia, honey, absolutely wonderful. But I would always advise seeing spirit via ancestor reverence space That's the best way I know how to give that to you. I can't advise you any other way. I wouldn't feel comfortable because that space is controlled by your ancestors. Your ancestors know your spiritual development. They know where you should be. They know you. They gave birth to you. There's a vested interest to keep you well protected. Absolutely, honey. Hmm. Oh, child, that cake that's been about since last year. I've been looking online, so like little sideline searches. The only closest I've come, they have this cake. That's where ladyfingers come from. It's a consistency like an angel food cake, but it's luscious. And the almond paste that they have from there is an almond paste that comes from that tradition. And it is made with Pinot Grigio. I think Pinot Grigio, champagne or Pinot Grigio. That's part, and it's so delicious. But they only make it in Paris. It's a cake. It's expensive, and it has these layers onto it, and it's really pretty. It's like a lady finger cake or something. That may have been our favorite dessert. I don't know. Also, as you can tell, I'm also foodie. I'm always thinking about something to eat, pretty much. So it's delicious. But no, an ancestor altar, ancestor reverence space. Don't let the altar thing get that. Don't let that, because we have to unlearn the religions that were pressed into us because of colonialism. A lot of them did not serve anything but white people that wanted to try to control you and keep you docile, so you wouldn't represent your own ancestral practices that were meant to give you power and that were meant to keep you safe. So they're going to press into you spiritual practices that would take your power and that would keep you docile and easily controlled. Mm. So just keep that in mind. Always keep that in mind. Um, Spiritual practices, Christian practices are absolutely beautiful. They're part of our tradition. We can't get away from it even if we wanted to, because our ancestors love them and they deeply appreciate them. That Bible and that altar is one of the most powerful aspects of that altar, absolutely, because it represents tradition. It represents people. It represents our ancestors. But you also have nature. You have plants and roots and trees and stones, and you have your insight. And you have that blood, that sanguayel flowing through your veins. That's powerful too. So all your ancestors are asking you to use them all together. And that's what hoodoo is. Tradition. Mhm. We don't just use one thing. We use everything. Mhm. Pretty much. Very good. All right. Do y'all have any more questions? Hold on. Because I want to start on this thing. It's definitely more shade than ancestor. I'll just set up. Mhm. It's definitely more shade. Absolutely. Hey, Nori, honey. Hello, Nori. That's how you doing, baby? Hello, everybody. I hope you're doing fine. All right, now. Okay, here we go. Now, I'm going to get into spirit baths a little bit. What are your thoughts on shrooms and the power and benefits that it has? Baby, I don't have. Well, I know shrooms can help heal you from past trauma. They can help heal ancestor trauma, definitely. Shrooms and LSD, all that goes on, it can that DMT. It's wonderful to help heal you from the world's traumas that's placed on you, traumas of this lifetime and past traumas, past lifetimes, and also ancestor traumas. But as far as experiencing that beforehand, baby, shrooms don't work on me. I took a whole bag of shrooms one time in Venice. Venice. I didn't know I was supposed to have the whole bag. I thought he gave it to me, and it had no effect on me. Mm-mm. I've never taken LSD or any other thing else, but I tried to take shrooms. I thought I was gonna have a good time, and I took a whole bag, and I didn't know I was supposed to. And that boy looked at me horrified. He says, "You're gonna be effed up forever." Girl, I think I had an itty bitty little trip. It lasted for like 5 minutes. And it was not, I think I was seeing glowing stars. And then it went away just as quick as it started. It don't work on me. Not really. Not really. Not at all. Mhm. Hmm. All right, y'all. So let me go ahead on and start with hmm, reading, definitely. Hmm. Let's start with the room. Now, what do you? Okay, no, I'm not sure. Now that's all y'all wanted to know concerning. That's all the questions y'all had. Okay, very good. Now, let's start going on. Hmm. Yeah, we're gonna talk a little bit about baths for healing, definitely, but also too. Mm, 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 mm. And we're gonna start a little bit about baths for healing, definitely. Hold on. No, I'm gonna try to get up this information. Now, do y'all have any more questions?
I have a question, but I do have a report.
Hey, honey.
Right here. I think that this whole divorce issue is finally coming to a close.
Good.
I'm just waiting for my court date.
Very, very good. It's been a long time in coming.
Princess Servant was able to serve the papers on Tuesday,
Uh-huh.
and she actually um, like signed them and mailed them off the next day.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw today that the court entered her answer, so I'm just waiting for them to like clear a date, a court date.
That's amazing. How did you feel?
Amazing.
Ooh.
Excited. I was excited when she got the papers.
Mm-hmm.
So today, when I checked my mail, and Hoodoo, they have to send you a copy of their response. I was elated when I got it.
Ooh, very good, honey. It's about damn time. Yeah, because, shoot, child, it took long enough. But it's good. Things always happen when they're supposed to. Mm-hmm. Ready to move
So
on.
I'm really excited about that.
Mm-hmm. Ready to move on. Very good.
Yeah, but I think, you know, like, but I know you're absolutely right about that negative energy that's there.
Mm-hmm.
Because I could just tell, like, the pettiness from the other end,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and like, process server was just this cold, stoic energy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that she had
Mm-hmm.
when met up with her or whatever. It's like,
Mm-hmm. It's like what just the pettiness.
yep.
Mm-hmm. King will keep coming up here. I keep adding them. You don't want to be here. I keep adding. But that's congratulations, honey. Congratulations, definitely. Hmm. You're ready to move on with your new life and ready to move on with this new understanding, this new existence with this wonderful person. Everything's coming together when like it's right supposed to. Yeah, very good. Very good.
Yeah, I wanted to share that good news.
That is really good news. Congratulations, honey.
I'm so quick.
Ah, ain't that something? Right on time. Right on time. Mhm. Right on time. Very good, honey. Right on time. Hmm. God is right on time. Very good. Hey, King Will, what's going on? How are you doing? Ha! I picked him up here. He I mean, no won't be up here. Put him on the spot. I'll put you. King Will, you here? From the stage. Oh, there you go. Hi. Oh, I can't hear you. Oh, I gotta unmute yourself. Okay, I'm gonna no edit mic settings. Oh, there we go. Mic volume. Oh, you got to do that. Okay, there we go. Go ahead. Can't hear you. Uh-oh. You can't hear you. Oh, no. Hmm. Oh, shoots. Not that way. Oh, yeah, you're there. Why can't I hear you on the second window, but I can't hear on the first window? I can hear you now. No. Mm-mm. No. Okay, hold on. Remove from stage. Okay, remove that from stage. No, I can't hear you. Well, how you doing? Well, you're here. So I hope you're having a good night. All right. So hold on. It's definitely more shade than okay, very good. Now can y'all hear me on Clubhouse? Because they're used to kicking me out. We just heard her beautiful news from Sister
Yeah,
Princess.
we hear you.
Very good, honey. I just heard beautiful news from Sister Princess. That is beautiful news, Chair. I'm starting to think that heaven will never gonna let you go. Like Jordan, like listen, Chucky, why you holding on? Go away. But she finally starting to let up. Oh, God bless her heart, you know, and send her into life with beautiful blessings, with plenty of love and care. A lot of it. Bye bye. Bye bye bye. Very good. All right, now listen. Y'all, now concerning spirit baths themselves. Now, talked about several baths going forward. No, but spirit, no, the King Will, did you have a shoot? Okay, I'm gonna try to unmute him. Unmute mic. You gotta choose to unmute. Okay, unmute. There we go. Okay. All right. All right. So listen. Now, basic guidelines for a spiritual bath is always this. Now, what you're gonna do? A lot of times you wake up before dawn. Don't wake up before dawn. Wake up before sunrise. Always, a lot of the baths that I'm gonna list, you can take some. You don't have to do that, but it's always good to wake up about an hour to hour and a half before sunrise itself. Always to the east is going to become your very best friend when you're dealing with spiritual baths. So whenever you take your spiritual baths, always get a little bit of that bath, a little cup, always a little bit of it, and face the east before the sunrise, um, and then just pour it out in the east or throw it in the east. State what you need, what you need from that bath, what you want for that bath to do, how you want your life to be, and then throw it in the direction of the east. Definitely. Also, too, um, as you get into the bath, what you want to do, of course, is name your problems, but also too name solutions to your problems. Don't just talk about your problems. Talk about how you're going to solve them, how spirit's going to solve them, how you're going to solve them. Start speaking about these problems being solved. Well, that's just when you're getting into the bath. As you're taking your bath, start thinking about how these situations are going to get solved, stating how they're solved, stating of this new life you want to lead, this new understanding you want to lead. Start speaking life into your new life into that bath. Also, too, before you pour that bath in, different increments of fixing the bath itself, probably over the pot liquor. Pray over it. Psalms 91 is good for spiritual protections. Psalms 25 is really good for wealth and abundance. But there are plenty of other psalms that are really, really wonderful, um, and always 9 or 10 times, or at least until you feel it, till you feel that prayer. It's always, always good to pray over the pot liquor or the strong tea that you're going to pour, the strong medicinal tea, spirit tea that you're going to pour in your water. It's always good that way. Now, what else? Mm. Also, too, it's good to have a white candle with you. Dedicate your spiritual baths to the ancestors. Um, didn't go about dedicating to the ancestors, having a white candle with you or two. Also, getting ancestors involved with your spiritual baths. The baths themselves are just really wonderful that way. Also, never spend less than 15 minutes in a spirit bath. Literally, never less than 15 minutes. The reason why is because of the simple fact that if spending less than 15 minutes in a spirit bath, you're going to basically want to assure that magic sinks into your skin, sinks into your spirit, sinks in where it needs to go. Anything that less than a spirit bath is a whole bath, and that spirit really don't get a chance to touch on you at all. Hmm. Hmm. Well, come on up then. No, no, because they couldn't hear you. How about now we have technical difficulties with King Wheel. King Wheel, come on up here. And your camera not working. Well, there you go. Perfect. Now let's see. Now I see you. Mhm. Now say something. Now hear me. You talking in your
I hear
earpieces?
you, Theo.
Do you hear,
In Clubhouse, I hear you.
do you hear King Will? Because he talking too. Okay, now mind you. Okay, unmute. Okay. Oh, you got to unmute yourself. Oh, King Will, you to unmute yourself. There we go. Now you unmuted. There. Let's say something. He talking. Damn it. Do y'all hear him? I don't hear him. Mm. Not the whole bath. I'm weak. You chair. Absolutely. You have to get in and make sure that you really let that water sink in. Also, too, keep in mind. Um, Also, too, once you put that water into the earth itself, speak into your life as you dump that water out. Tell from you what you want to get rid of. There you go, right there. Hold on. There we go. There I can hear you. Hey, say something. See, you can hear you now. Can y'all hear him? Yep. King Will is not amused at all. How you doing? How you doing, friend? He just muted himself again. Unmute him. I can't unmute him. Oh, there you go.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. What did you do? Is your computer? I can hear you now. Can you hear me? He muted himself back up again. Unmute him. Unmute Mike. Okay, I'm gonna go into controls. Unmute. Yeah. No. Still muted. You muted yourself. Oh, shoot. Damn it. What you doing? He is not amused. Unmute him again. I can't do it on my end. You were just there. I could hear you. Shit. King Will is having technical difficulties. Oh, well. So listen. Now, mind you. Um, hmm. Oh, there goes Sylvia. Hey, Sylvia. Sylvia, you want to come on stage? Come on stage, honey. Okay. Now also to make this a therapeutic environment concerning spiritual baths themselves. There we go. Hey, buddy. And I can hear you. What you do? Can hear you now. There we go.
I don't know. I had to close out.
There we go.
You can hear me now?
Yep.
Oh, thank God. So I guess the app's retarded because I was on
Yeah.
the app and the app wouldn't let me talk.
Yeah. That's how it be sometimes. So what's going on? How you doing?
I'm doing good. Sitting here taking in this lesson, listening.
Mm. Now also
I'm taking
too.
my
Now
coffee
with
per usual.
now with spiritual baths from your traditions. Now concerning spiritual baths, what do y'all do with your spiritual baths? Because you come from Santeria Paulo tradition. What do y'all do?
I mean, so there's different baths that you can take.
Mhm.
So, but usually depending on what's going on and what's prescribed, um, most of the baths are always made with fresh plants,
Mhm.
which you know how it is in the Bronx. That could be annoying 'cause if you run the Run Botanica, they ain't got it. You got to go find one that does.
Mhm.
Um, but usually, in the case that if you can't find it, then you have most botanicas or spiritual shops sell certain baths depending. So like they have one that's called Abre Camino. There's another
Mhm.
one that's called Rompe Todo, I think it is. And those are pretty much like dried versions, and then there's some kind of roux that's added. But typically, what we do is they normally make it in a batch. So we'll use like let's say a 5 gallon bucket,
Mhm.
and so you start out with water. You start out with the herbs. Sometimes they'll pour rum into it. There's also cascarilla that gets put in there,
Mhm.
and then a couple of other roots. And then sometimes, depending on what's going on. So, like, let's say if you've done, like, if you fed your santos or your warriors, sometimes some of the feathers from that offering will also go into that bath.
Mhm. Mhm. For the ashe. Mhm.
And then traditionally, our, all of our baths are always done from the neck down,
Mhm.
and then you have to leave it on overnight.
Mhm. So no towel drying.
No. So typically
Mhm.
they'll tell you take a regular shower, towel dry off, pour the bath on, and then use your hands to, obviously try to get. So when you pour the spirit bath, so let's say if you're using a bath to take negativity, once you pour it from the neck down, you're going to wipe it off your body as if you're taking all of that off.
A squeegee, yeah.
hmm And then you put your clothes on.
Same thing for us too. We'll squeegee it off, and then we don't towel dry at all, and we'll just sit there within the next. They give us next 24 hours, up to 2 days, and then then you go about and just taking a regular shower, or just taking a regular shower, stuff to refresh yourself.
hmm Yeah, it's the same.
Definitely. Now with us, we use so many dried roots. Now traditionally, of course, they would only use wet roots going way, way, way back. And I know Of course, just holding space or just being nosy at certain botanicals. A lot of times, for a lot of those baths, it's usually fresh roots, beautiful, beautiful fresh roots. And so I'm just watching a lot of the elders put together the baths and how they meticulate those fresh roots. It's all they always work those roots in that water, and they always make sure that they. I mean, you just see a lot of ripping and praying and just pulverizing those roots as the best they can. Now, not all of them. Some roots they didn't do that with. Some roots they did. They just put in a hole. That I didn't know too much because I really wasn't supposed to see what I was seeing. I'm just being nosy, but but it was usually always done with fresh roots, definitely.
Yeah, because typically when it's time for the herbs to go in, the songs are prayers for Osign. That's typically how they always start. And
Mhm.
then depending on afterwards, it'll normally end with songs or prayers for the Orisha that they're that the bath is being done for or under,
Mhm.
so to speak.
Mhm. Mhm. Very good, very, very good. Yeah, definitely, absolutely. Hmm. Definitely. The one thing I've noticed too, and the tradition itself, I noticed that traditions are they're different, but they're kind of the same. But that just goes, just older traditions themselves. They have a tendency to be the same in some ways. In some ways, they're different depending on the people and depending on the availability concerning fresh roots or dried roots. I know low country people. We usually use dried roots because that's all we had. That's all we had access to, unless we're picking roots on our own, foraging for roots. And then, of course, those are fresh. Those are fresh baths. But a lot of times, it's mostly just dried. 'Cause that's what available to us, dried goods, and we can use those dried goods to work with. Definitely. I remember there was a sweet bath a long, long time ago, and instead of using sugar, cane sugar, we just used sugar cane that was just ground up and add that sugar cane to that water along with a little bit of goat milk, eggs. I think this was a sweet bath along with fenugreek, fresh fenugreek, fresh mint. I believe it was also cinnamon. Um, but I remember just sugar cane. I'm like, why don't we use just sugar? My grandfather said, no, 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 we don't use sugar, not in this bath. So they would just take the sugar cane, spend some time just grinding it up to just kind of pulverizing it and putting those pieces in the bath and making sure that that water is sweet, utilizing it that way. That was a long time ago. But usually we'll just use dried goods, definitely, when available, definitely. But when fresh roots are available, we'll utilize them, but not highly though. It's mostly just dried roots. Mhm. Very good, definitely. All right, everybody. So listen, the three ingredient spirit bath, of course, is this is to relieve body aches and pains. That's just red oak leaves, red brick dust, and a handful of sea salt. It's a cup of sea salt. Um, the roots themselves are red oak leaves. Of course, you're going to put in. You boil the ingredients, and then you add the solution to a warm bath. You're going to soak in about 13 to 30 minutes and throw the remaining water to the east before sunrise. Mind you, red oak leaves, going to use 10 to 20, red brick dust, and just a handful of sea salt. And that's really meant. Now, the oak tree itself is thought to be the king of the woods, or king of the trees. And then I've seen some traditions where they put a little mesquite wood in as well, as well as sometimes even a little cedar or pine wood, that cedar bark or pine chips, in that tiny little pine shavings as well. It's a sweet smelling bath. It actually smells quite good. Um, but with this bath, like most baths, of course, you leave it on a little bit. With this particular bath, especially if you add pine or cedar shavings, you'll leave it on about 6 or 7 hours, and then wash it up, take a regular shower. Only because those woods still contain resins, and it can really irritate your skin. So we'll wash it off as soon as we can after a few hours, definitely about 6 hours. Um, and it'll leave you smelling, it'll leave you feeling really, really good. Also, too, because does have salt in it, some people are really, really sensitive to salt. Not necessarily a salt burn, but it'll make your skin itchy. So we'll go about after about 6 hours, you'll rinse it off, and then go about washing your arms, washing your crack, everything else. But you won't wash your body. You just rinse off the excess salt and the excess resins that may come from the woods, so that you're comfortable. But this bath right here, it's a simple bath. It's just 3 ingredients, and it works really well to relieve aches and pains. It also works really well to the stagnancy, if you have any stagnancy around you. This bath also works as a good floor wash too. But mind you, it does have salt in it. So anything with salt, you're definitely going to have to make sure that you going about with the floor rinse, because that salt, especially if you have wooden floors, it will build up and it'll make your floors look very cloudy. The salt buildup, it's not nice on wooden floors, definitely. Any floors for that matter, they turn to something. They turn to this white crystal flakes. So you may have to go behind with a nice Florida wash, a nice Florida water wash, mostly watered Florida water, and then go back over it to get up the excess salt. But it's a good salt wash to take up stagnancy. Mm, absolutely. Now, mind you, before I do the baths, do y'all have any questions? And have they kicked me out yet? Y'all can still hear me on Clubhouse. So I gotta keep checking back. Hold on. I think they kicked me out of Clubhouse, King Will. Hold
Oh, hateful Clubhouse.
on. I think they kicked me out. Hold on, I'm about to log back in. Clubhouse is just it's the app. The app is always doing something.
Mm-hmm.
Always sitting behind app. Absolutely, definitely. Now, when it comes to milk in your baths, do y'all use milk in your baths? Because we use milk as in our baths for spiritual, going about making sure for spiritual protection. We use goat milk, sheep milk, all kinds of milk products. Not many. Cow's milk we
I've
rarely ever use.
I've never seen milk put into a bath.
Hmm.
The one bath that I have seen, it did look like there was milk in it, and if I had to assume, it was coconut.
Coconut milk.
But that's when I was starting out and didn't have privileges yet to kind of see. So the bath is almost for the most part done.
Hmm. Okay.
But that also could be, yeah, that one I'm pretty sure had coconut milk.
Hmm.
I know in some of the baths because of the they put Florida water in it, so I know because of the
It makes it
reactions.
milky.
Mhm.
Yeah, makes it milky. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Florida water will turn water kind of a milky white color because of the alcohol content, definitely. Mhm. You can also smell it too.
Mhm.
Yeah, but we definitely use milk in our in some of the baths are spiritual protection. And usually, a lot of times it's usually goat milk, and so we'll use just powdered goat milk itself because it has a tendency to stay. And it doesn't necessarily go bad. It's not as perishable, let's say, as regular goat milk, which you got to use within a few days because then it'll start to go rancid.
Yeah, there's certain baths that we use. They'll tell you put this in the fridge.
Hmm. So that they don't, yes, if they don't go rancid, definitely. All right, yeah, absolutely.
Which
Now,
I hate because I don't like cold baths, but that has to be done.
you can't heat them up.
No.
Oh Jesus, some ice cold baths. What the hell?
Hmm.
No.
Especially, nobody warned me. Well, it's a learning experience, but you take a nice hot shower and you pour this whole cold bath. You're like, oh Jesus, no.
Like what the hell? I don't Yeah,
For
definitely.
all this suffering, it better take something off of you.
Now, mind you, the next bath, I've had them on cold ass baths. Oh my God. And then I can't say nothing because then
Hmm.
the person that give it to me is Mr. Shits and Giggles, grandma granddaddy. And
Hmm.
he just waiting for you to complain. Oh, stop it. Ain't gonna hurt you. You can't say anything.
Nope. I remember when I received my Eleques and I had to do my bath at my godfather's house. I stood in the foot tub. He was like,
Mhm,
"All right." He was like, "Go ahead." But they do part of the bath. It's called a rompimiento, but there's a bath
mhm,
involved. Basically, they tell you wear some clothes you don't care about because they're gonna rip your clothes off,
mhm.
and then afterwards you have to stand in a foot bath, and you got to take this bath. And so my godfather's like, "All right, go ahead and take a bath." It was like, seriously? He's like, mm-hmm. So I'm standing there and I felt that water and I was like, oh no, this ain't gonna work. And then here he is, he's knocking on the door. He's like, "You done? You done? What's taking so long? Hurry up." I'm like,
He can't say nothing.
"Nope." And I'm getting lectured from the other side of the door. He's like, "It's 1, 2, 3, beep, 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 hurry up." I'm like, "That's easy for you to say. You like standing in this
Mhm.
cold ass bath." I'm like, "I'm coming, I'm coming." He's like, "You done? All right." He's like, "What you?" He's like, "You getting all dolled up?" I was like, "Here you go."
Uh-uh. He,
Hmm.
uh-uh. He worse than my granddaddy is. Because I will be getting dolled up. What you doing up in there? Then he'll come burst open the door and then just stare at you. And then it's just embarrassing.
Hmm.
All right, y'all. Listen to 13. Now we have a 13 herb bath, which is actually 14. And I've discussed this earlier, which is five-finger grass. Athea. Now this grass is just an crossing, purification, and beautiful spiritual protection. Also, too, this bath will bring you money, especially if you go ahead and add galangal root as well as now bay leaves is bay leaf is already a part. No, bay leaves is not a part of it. Adding bay leaves, but also five-finger grass too. Well, five-finger grass is already part of it. Now, mind you, you can add. You can also add cinnamon to this bath too, as well as cloves, and make it lend itself to money. Now, that's equal parts of five-finger grass, which is going to be a tablespoon. Athea, hyssop, rue, basil, angelica roots, mint, patchouli, lemon verbena, dill, peony, eucalyptus leaves, and sage. Mhm. Now, mind you, you boil the roots down till you get a nice pot lick, about a nice big saucepan. That's going to be equal up to a pint and a half. Almost a saucepan usually is a pint over a pint. It's not a quart. I'd rather you use a quart saucepan. Um, Now boil everything down to a nice rolling boil. Cut the fire off. Let everything steep. And then, mind you, because let the water cool down. Pour everything over your head around about 10 to 13 times. And then, mind you, you're going to be removing cross conditions and just general negativity. Just a sense of negative. You have a negative mind, negative way of seeing things. It's just uncrossing traditions. Now, mind you, when the water falls in the bathtub, you're going to, you dump it over you about 13 times. You pick the water up with your hands and you rub the water upwards in an upward direction. Now, mind you, daddy said you repeat the stab bath daily for 13 days. You throw the remaining water out to the east or before sunrise, or at the east before the sun rises in the morning. This is a good bath for prosperity. Really good, and it smells good too. It smells very, very good. It's also really good for spiritual protection too, as well. Mhm. Now we have just a basic spiritual bath, which is just 2 to 4 ounces of Florida water. in bath water. It's so basic. It's really basic. But what I like to do with store-bought Florida water, because that's plus plenty of Florida water you can buy. We make our own, and that recipe is actually on its own Patreon. But if you're gonna have store-bought Florida water, I'm always gonna recommend you soup your own. So pour that little bottle in a rather big mason jar. If you're gonna soup up your own Florida water, make sure you add equal parts Everclear, and then go home and add bergamot zest. Um, 1 tablespoon of bergamot zest. Hold on. 1 teaspoon of orange zest, 1 teaspoon of lemon zest. I'm also going to want just about a few tablespoons, a few drops, about 5 or 6 drops of sweet orange oil, and about 5 drops of lemon oil. And then add cinnamon, bay leaves, rue, and then that makes a wonderful, wonderful, a little bit of Astragalus angelica. That makes a really pretty Florida water, really, really beautiful. Put that in a mason jar, let it stand for 6 weeks, and there you go. Now, when you're taking this bath, you're only going to add 2 to 4 ounces of this Florida water. Smell good, Mojo. And it works really, really well. It's basic, really, really basic bath. Mind you, do y'all have any questions? It's thus far. Y'all, it's Saturday, 12/23 Pacific Standard Time. It's amazing. I've broken, like my grandpa used to see, my granddaddy. It's funny. That's my, hold on. Okay, very good. Okay, I can see our questions now. You can also ask them to give you December. Okay, that question was 11/12. Y'all see how late this thing is? I'm just seeing Gentle's question at 11:12 p.m. Okay, very good. Now, all right, now, basic hoodoo bath. This is just a basic hoodoo bath, but also really good for conditioning the skin. It's really, really good just for taking care of your body because it has Epsom salt in it. You're gonna take half a cup of Epsom salt and 1 handful, which is gonna be about 3 tablespoons or 2 tablespoons of blessed sea salt you've actually blessed with the salts. Particular salt depending on what you need. Then add a few drops of conjure oil consistent with your intent. That's a really good bath too. It does condition your skin for the Epsom salt, but it is a pretty good bath. It's a lightweight bath concerning getting off jinx situations. It's also a good bath to have if you have spiritual clients. It'll get mess off of you. It'll just get attachments. It's very quick, very easy. You don't need that much to do it. All right, now we have a blue bath. Blue bath is good for, I consider this just like a spirit bath. It's almost like that blue water we use for ancestor elevation. Now, go take Mrs. Stewart's laundry bluing or blue food coloring. Now, we'll use, if you're going to use Mrs. Stewart's food coloring, please don't use that much unless you want your fingertips dyed blue and your skin a little hint of blue. Just use 2 drops. But better than that, go ahead and use, because I thought about that later. Go on ahead and use regular blue food coloring. Lavender and a teaspoon of lavender and rosemary. Then get your shell, a nice clam shell. And then we also going to get a little bit, get a white candle. And then if you want to have incense, whatever else, that's perfectly fine. Now, put that blue food coloring and that boiling water concerning lavender, and rosemary. Let it burn down. Let it boil on down. As the water's cooling, go ahead and add about 5 drops of blue food coloring. Now, if you want to, you can get your blue or white candle. I rather a light blue candle. It can be a dark, deep paint blue. That's actually quite lovely. But I've also found white baby blue candles are really nice too. and burn that candle on the side, surrounded by a circle of eggshell dust, and ask your ancestors to be a part of the bath itself, and they definitely will. That's good for just taking off of you just really odd energies. It's just really great. All right. Now, what am I doing? Just a minute. Ciao. Can't say anything. Okay. All right, y'all. Now, do you have any questions? Sister Mira, Sister Rose, Sister Princess, Sister Melissa. On Clubhouse, you have any questions? A whole bath. Okay. Them baths be cold as hell, and then you get herbs all in your crack. That's awful. They don't even bother to filter off any other herbs. It's just what I think they do this purposefully. All right. Now, hmm, let's do another purification bath. Do one last one. Um, hmm, see, we did the road opener bath first. Okay, we do this one. Removing the evil eye, because Daddy uses this bath for many folks. You're gonna need a quart of milk, 3 carnations, and three handfuls of blessed sea salt. Now that's gonna be 2 cupfuls. Now, mind you, you're gonna fill your tub with warm water with the above ingredients. Okay. Relax about 15 minutes and visualize a fortress of light surrounding you. Allow the water to drain and gather the flowers that remain. Allow yourself to air dry. Take the remaining carnations along with a small mirror. Then bury them in the front yard as you close your front door. Bury it in your front yard as close to your front door as possible. And that'll remove the evil eye. Definitely. Mm. Now, white bath of purification. You're going to use 2 to 4 cups of evaporated milk or powdered milk, 2 to 4 tablespoons of anise, of course, a handful of sea salt, white candle, and blue candle. Now, with the white bath of purification, you're going to boil everything down. Once you boil it, the anise down, then go ahead on, and then just add your milk, your sea salt, and everything. Put in a nice halfway full tub, sit in for 15 minutes, and then go ahead on and just let that mojo just wash over you. Also, too, mind you, if you want to put a little cinnamon in as well, a little bit of astragalus root, hit that in that pot lick itself, and then just go ahead on and add the milk and add the sea salt and milk later, as as this pot lick is actually cooling. Yeah, definitely. All right, y'all. It's 12:30. I'm tired, but we did pretty good. Did really really good. I waited a little too late to do this, but it's fine. God, you covered a few things. I'm gonna cover a few more things tomorrow early in the morning. Spirit baths number 2. But at the end of the day, we learned a little bit, gave a little bit of information for love and care, and have folks now they have their own spiritual baths. Mm, absolutely. All right. Well, look, everybody, I am going to drop off and go to bed. It's another day has began, another day has started, and my day is about to end. I appreciate you for your time. I thank you so much for spending time with me. Definitely appreciate you. But I'm sitting up here and I'm like, am I sleepy? Do I want to go to bed? I want to stay up. My eyes keep drooping, betraying me. It's just not fair. So, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and go to bed. But listen, thank you so much for your time. Y'all be good. Thank you so much on here on StreamYard. And thank everybody, of course, on Clubhouse. I appreciate you and appreciate your time. Thank you for spending it with me, definitely. So listen, y'all be good. Take care of yourself, and I'll see y'all early tomorrow morning. Love everybody. There we go.